Ooh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Coconut Wireless Videos Thursday, Tuesday. Hang on. Turn off my volume here. April 29th. Guys, we got a show tonight. Let's get Here we go. Charles, hundreds of people, chicken skin moments. I had to like wipe away some tears right now as I relive that moment. Folks,
Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, guys, if you're watching on Facebook, hit the share button right now. Share this thing so everybody can see. If you're watching on YouTube or anything else, do the same. Share it as we bring in our amazing guest tonight, Kumu Hula, Leina'ala, Pavao, Jardin, and Miss Aloha Hula, Jaedyn Pavao. Welcome to the show. How you guys doing?
Aloha. Wonderful.
Great. Still on cloud nine and still trying to soak it all in.
Well, first of all, congratulations. What an amazing performance or performances up at the Merrie Monarch in Hilo. And everyone back home was watching, and it's so hard to get a ticket to that thing. I tried to get a ticket this year, and I even couldn't get a ticket. So, but we watched and enjoyed the whole show. This year was special, and we kind of wanted to just talk story with y'all and share this journey, share this last year, and it's been a year, Kumu. It's been a year.
It's been a year. And by the way, I just want to let the viewers know and let you guys know, I just came home. I go from Kumu hula hat to baseball mom hat, and just came home from watching the championship game between Waimea High School and Kapa'a High School. A big congratulations to the Kapa'a Warriors, who are the KIF champs for baseball this year. And so, congratulations to our boys, our Menehune. They did great as well. And just, it was a great game. Great game, great spirit. Wonderful job, everybody, all around. So I'm talking hula, but with a baseball cap on.
Well, you heard it first. Kapa'a High School, KIF baseball champs, awesome. We got a lot of Waimea High School girls flag football is heading out tomorrow to the States.
Yes.
That is going to be something inaugural state tournament. So, but anyway, we are here to talk about the Merrie Monarch. We are here to talk about your halau. We're here to talk about Miss Aloha Hula. We don't have much time, so Kumu, we'll just start with you. Charles, first, you want to share your
Good
congratulatory
evening.
massages to these two fine
Hi.
ladies?
Well, I would like to say congratulations to the new reigning Miss Aloha Hula, Jaedyn.
Thank you so
Congratulations,
much.
and to you, Leina'ala. We had a we had a conversation recently, and
We did.
still brings tears to my eyes. So congratulations, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Mahalo nui.
Well, the Coconut Wireless is a platform to make people smile, to make people laugh, to have fun. It's a safe zone. But, this journey, and Linala, feel free to share what you want. But, y- you know, uh, for many of us that know you well, we've known the journey that you've been on. And
Mhm.
right before the competition, um, you came out and you shared your story with everyone. And I thought that
Yeah.
was so brave because there's so many people out here that are have challenges, and you're
Hmm.
such an amazing example of resilience and strength, and most importantly, faith. So
Yes.
I wanna start there and share your journey, and then we'll get into this specific journey at this Merrie Monarch competition. And I gotta tell you, every year we watch, we think you should sweep. We just think that you should sweep it all.
I wish you were all judges.
But I got to tell you, the competition gets tougher and tougher every year. The
And
quality
isn't
of
that a
the
beautiful
it,
thing?
it is, and I think
It is.
you Kuma, you set the bar several years ago. It's like you're there. You're the living legend of hula, um, and it's just I just so proud to know you. But anyway, with that, I'll turn it over to you, Leina'ala, and you can handle
Well,
this however you want.
well, I would love, love, love to share my story. It's not something, um, that I made the decision early on. That was one of the first things that came to my mind is I am going to beat this. Like I'm going to beat this. And a good friend of mine, Ku'ule Santos from Unlimited Construction, everybody knows Ku'ule. She said, Lena Ali, you have to assemble a team. You have to bring a team together. You can't do this on your own. You got to get a team. And I was diagnosed back in July. Well, June was when I actually went to the emergency room. Just a gut feeling, lack of a better word for it. I had a gut feeling like I need to go to the emergency room. I wasn't in severe pain, but for several months I was having this discomfort in my back and sometimes in my tummy. And we did every test that was known other than checking my pancreas, and it just was determined that I had gastritis, and we were treating that. But one day, just something was like, nope, just go emergency room. My husband was in Canada on a work trip. My two daughters was in the mainland on a trip with their friends, and it was just my son and I at home. He was at baseball practice, and I said, I'm going to go. Drove myself to KVMH, walked in there. Wonderful doctor, Dr. Sean McAllister, I believe Sean is his first name, sent me in immediately for a CAT scan. He didn't have to. He didn't have to send me in for a CAT scan, and he did. And I thank him so very much because, and he is truly a gem that we have on our island, because he came in and shut the door behind him and said, I found something on your pancreas. And I mean, if anyone has ever been through a moment like that, or a cancer diagnosis, or any type of diagnosis where, wow, you're faced with uncertainty in your life ahead, that for me, the blood, I just felt like everything left my body. I couldn't believe it. I sat there, I was like, wow. And then, everything just kind of went really quick after that. Through some very special friends in our community, I was able to get to see a doctor at Queen's Hospital really quickly, and get started on treatment. But, from the start, as I said, I just made it a point in my mind that I was going to beat this. I was going to beat this. I am going to beat this. And the first and foremost thing was Keakua. I had to put my faith, surrender everything to him. Until today, I cry sometimes. I cry because I say, Lord, I say I surrender to you, yet I sit here worried. Please forgive me for that. But you know what? He's fine with that. He understands, right? What we are going through. You can't hide anything from him. And so, but it's been quite the journey. It's been quite the journey. As I mentioned, Ku'ule told me you have to assemble a team, and that is what I did. And I knew from the start that I wanted to beat this, and I wanted to help others. I wanted to give others hope. And so I assembled a team of nutritionists. I have Dr. Sparks, who is one of my physicians, he and his wife, who is a PA. They are right there for me all along the way. My brother, William, stepped up to the plate and started studying and studying. I'm telling you, he knows so much about what we've been through. And but one of the first things he said was, we got to start with your nutrition. We have to start with your nutrition. And so if anybody's listening, I don't want to tell anybody what to do and what decisions to make in life, but when you're faced with something like this, we have to look at the nutrition. And I believe if I inadvertently cause this to come into my body by eating fast foods, by eating tons of sugar, I was obese at one time. If I inadvertently brought this on, then I can purposely remove it from my body. And that was my belief. So I have my brother there, Dr. Sparks and his wife. Just a team of amazing people, not to mention, of course, my family, right? My husband, my children. This was such a blow to all of us. And, my husband is truly my pillar that has been by my side, going with me to my treatments. I even took Dr. Sparks with me to my treatments. And every time I went, I had a team with me. Even some of my dancers came. So I am blessed to have that support. But nutrition is the key. Sugar out. Once in a while I'll have a treat, but I just made it my life. And so I see people nowadays and they tell me, oh, you look so skinny, you lost weight. Guess what? I worked so hard because I never lost my appetite. From when I went into the emergency room, I ate a plate lunch right before I went in. So that was never an issue. But I made that decision that if I'm going to beat this, I need to do it the right way. And there's so much out there that we don't utilize outside of the medical system, Western medicine. Like, I'm so thankful for my Dr. Akoba and his staff at Queen's Cancer Center, but there is so much more. He's one facet of the team. There's so much more that goes into healing. First and foremost, Keakua, and then you have your Western medicine, your holistic medicine, blessed hands, Dr. Lucky and now Willie Willie, huge in my healing. Uncle Harvey Maeda and his EE systems, huge in my healing. Just so many people played a part in my healing. And so now I'm in a good place. And I just holomua with Keakua is my theme. I move forward with God and continue to stay strong and stay positive. I do lots of meditation as well, and things that I normally never did before, Mel and Charlie. Like, I just do it. Today I went for breakfast at Sheraton, and my daughter looked at me and I said, hold on. And I just went out on the sand and laid out on the beach. Just laid out right there in front of the Sheraton and took in the sun. And after breakfast, I laid out on their lawn, just connecting myself with this Aina. And just, there's something about that, just being connected to our home and this land. It's very, very, very healing. And everyone, all the prayers, right? Everyone praying for me. Pastor Nathan Gross, he came up, his entire family dances for me. And so he created an 808 prayer time. So 8:08 a.m., 8:08 p.m., everybody goes into prayer for me. And I'm so grateful for that. And I want to mention that when Jaedyn took the stage on Thursday, her first step took place at 8:08 p.m. And so that is chicken skin, and that is affirmation that God is so present in all that we do. It is not a coincidence that Jaedyn took her first step onto that stage at 8:08 p.m. and everybody's alarms was going off, right? So it is just, everything is so special. And sometimes, we wonder, why do these things happen to us? I remember when it was my mom, I was like, why, God, why? but there's a purpose for everything. And I hope that my story can inspire others to make changes, to be positive, to fight, to battle with God at the helm, and to just battle with good nutrition and so many wonderful things going on in the world of cancer recovery. So many wonderful things, and I'll do whatever I can to inspire others and stay strong. And again, we can all hold them well together. We're stronger together. When you battle this alone, it's tough. And so it's nice if we're all together and stay positive together, pray for one another. And that allowed me, this journey allowed me to be there for Jaedyn and her journey. And that was on my mind a lot. I'll be really honest. It was on my mind a lot. Like, God, please, please let me get to Merrie Monarch. And I remember asking my doctor, Dr. Koba, you think I can go to Merrie Monarch? If not, I need to pull out now. And he said, why not? Like, yes, you can. You can. And so we made it. And Keokua, I mean, look, allowed her to be Miss Aloha Hula and allowed us to share our story. And this is all I ever wanted, was to be able to share our story and glorify him and get people closer to him. And so we're so, so grateful. My family, everybody is so grateful to Kauai Ni'ihau and all the support throughout Hawaii and the world.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I just wanted to highlight a couple of the comments from Lynn, breast cancer warrior, 19 years. You got this, sweetheart.
Amen, Lynn. Yes, thank you.
Simona Manuel, survivor for 14 years. But I think,
Amen. Yes.
yeah, Kumu, you have touched so many people's lives throughout the last few decades. And I think you had a lot of prayer warriors. You had a lot of supporters that were just so concerned. And, they weren't concerned that, man, I hope she's going to be able to make the Merrie Monarch. I don't think that was a concern. I think it's like,
Right.
we got to keep you on this planet. Yesterday at the airport, you told me, stay healthy, take care of
Yes.
your health. And,
Yes.
I felt this.
Sorry.
Charlie,
That's my Brady. I'm
stop,
so sorry
Charlie,
about that.
knock it off, Charlie. That's Charlie. He does this every time we do the show. He starts barking when.
Sorry.
No. It's just again, it's
My husband is here and he's removing him from the room on timeout. That's Brady, my baby Brady. We named him after Tom Brady, of course, and so he likes to get involved in everything.
and before Charlie goes on, I gotta say that because you mentioned the baseball cap and all of that, and Jaedyn came on ahead and she's all glamorous and beautiful, and then we just saw you at the Monarch and you were, oh my God. But Kumu, when you hit that drum, you're vicious. You Patsy says the drumming, I don't know what you guys call it. I call it drumming, but the drumming was just what word did she use? Patsy, if you're there, type it in. She said it was I can't remember, but anyway, it was awesome, and the whole performance was awesome. But I just think it's so unique to see you in a baseball cap and Boro clothes, Kumu.
Yes, well, I am, I'm so proud of my son, and I journaled a lot through this journey, and made myself my body a lot of promises. I told my pancreas, if you heal and I promise you, I'll never put another drop of anything bad in my body. Everything that will go through you will be sweet and pure, not from sugar though, right? And then, those are the things. My son, I promised myself that I would do my absolute best never to miss anything that my son is in. With, my daughters were always with me, right? Because hula. But for my son, it's sports. And I just love, and it's healing. It is healing to watch. Anything that brings us joy brings us healing. And so, if my halau will probably be all watching this later, but I want to thank my students, my haumana, because they allow me to miss my classes, my alakai, cover my classes so that I can be there to watch my son. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful.
Awesome. Charles.
Well, I would like to ask a question of the new Miss Aloha Hula. What? How long have you been dancing? First of all, and I understand you're a registered nurse, correct? And is that at
Yes, I am a
Wilcox? You're a
registered
nurse.
nurse. I'm actually working with
So
the
how long have
Department
you
of
been?
Health as a public health nurse.
Oh, oh, beautiful. And how long have you been practicing hula? I should say, and you are definitely an expert in the craft. From what I saw, that your performances, you're amazing, very amazing.
Well, I don't think we can put an exact date or time on that, but ever since I could walk, I remember as a little girl standing at the corner of the halau just watching until I could slowly make my way and walk into the line. And so I would say maybe like 3 years old when I could start walking, I started dancing. And that was a huge part
Wow.
for me. I remember my mom them had these videos of me when I was super little. I would come in the house and just start being a whole pa'a. Like I thought I was, oh, like I knew what I was doing.
She could pai and ipueke from like in diapers. It was classic. And we have videos of those. We need to find those and share that with the world because I think that's so important. Like like I want people to understand that Jaedyn didn't start dancing 3 years ago, that Jaedyn didn't start diving into hula even 10 years ago. I'd love for them to
Mhm.
see her, right, with her ipuheke at 2 years old. She had her own halal going on in this house, So, yeah, it's been a lifetime for her.
Well, that definitely showed the night of the performance, and and as I said earlier, the quality of the hula now is just amazing. I mean, just the competition. Your Kane, I was so impressed because your Kane, what do you call them? Your Kane group, they're all young. They're just young. They're like youngins.
Yeah, those are some of my keiki hula boys. So there's a couple senior boys in there. We had about three or four that are a little older, but the rest are all just came from keiki hula. So they're 13, 14, 15, couple of 15-year-olds in there, but they're a younger group for the most part. But they did so good, and I'm super super proud of them. Super proud of them. And we saw the competition. We know there's like you said, right? The excellence, the level. So I, I'm just so proud of them. I think I want to say on the Merrie Monarch site, they have, last I saw, I want to say it was like 40,000 views and likes for my Mokihana man. And I'm so tickled by that. I am so tickled by that.
Yeah, and I think that's it's like Jaden didn't start dancing 3 years ago. A lot of the competition in the Kane group they were older. They've been dancing as a unit for a long time, and your
Mhm.
Kane was just not. They're too young to have that kind of experience. So it's just,
Right,
I guess
right.
my point is they were just freaking awesome. They were just awesome, awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, so Jaden, I obviously never been to that venue. We watch it every year on TV. How does it feel? I think it was you, and you did the Hawaii News Now interview, and they asked you, and it was it you that said, when we go on that stage, people all think that we're going out to dance for the audience, but we're not dancing for the audience. We're dancing for, what did you say?
For an audience of one, which is Keokua.
Yeah, and I was watching that. It was on the morning news, and I was like, it initially sounded like, what, dance for the audience. What in the world are you dancing, for Keakua? And that was
Yeah.
just, that struck me like, well, that's like a very understandable answer. And I just didn't even think about that. But yeah, so explain the journey. Explain the journey. And how difficult is it to get up on that stage with all those people? And it's hot too, right? Isn't it hot?
It's pretty hot, but I mean, by the time you take stage, you're so ready. You don't feel the heat or anything. You're kind of just at a point where I'm gonna do this thing. So like we talked about, I have been dancing since a very young age. So that's when my journey began. I think that everything instilled in me from when I was little showed on that night. I had 14 minutes to show everything that I've learned and who I am as a person. So But if we're talking about this specific Merrie Monarch journey, we started maybe in like September or October. And, you know, I said in other interviews, there's going to be challenges in anything you do, but it's the way you take it on. It's the way you take on the challenges. And I feel like we did well with that. We have turned to God with everything. When things didn't work out, guess what? It wasn't meant to be. And so when we first started digging into everything, it was really finding out who I am and looking at my lineage. So that's where we started. We found my family tree and found so many amazing things. I've lived on this earth for 23 years and had no idea that I had connections to La'amai Kahiki, Mo'ikeha, Kapi Olani. I mean, from there, it was like, oh, we have a story to share. Like, we definitely have a purpose. We are going to go out there and honor them because they deserve that. And I remember Kumu came to visit me in Hilo one weekend, and she's like, oh, you got to do a hula pau. Like, you have to honor your ancestors. They brought the pahu to Hawaii. So from there, we put our trust in God that the mele would find us. So for my hula kahiko, we were digging through newspapers and eventually it was like, oh, this is it. He wahi mele no kapua lei laha o leina pali. And in that mele, there are place names mentioned about Kauai that we don't even use to this day, which is sad. But that was one of my goals to bring life to those names. And I've had comments from multiple people like, wait, we have that place on Kauai? And I'm like, yes. And the cool thing is, with the guidance of Dr. County Smith, we were able to look at a really, really large map with like size 2 point font at all the ancient place names on Kauai. And for that, I mean, I was so grateful because I got to look at where these places are, and that helped me to bring life to those names when I danced about them. So that was the beginning of the journey for my kahiko. And then as we went further into that, she gave me the responsibility of writing my oli, which is a tradition in our halau and for her kumu, Ray Fonseca. And I looked at her like, oh, okay. I've never written in Oli, but no challenge is too big. We just got to stay positive and put down my thoughts, even if it's in English at first, because I'm working on the Hawaiian language part of this. Wrote down all my thoughts. How am I feeling after looking at my lineage? So we were able to throw together this beautiful Oli that, with the help of Uncle Kiao, threw together this Oli that really centers around my home. I was born and raised here in Kalaheo, and Kukuiolono is like the heart of this place. You go there and you look down, you can see all the pu'u leading down to Nomilu, and then you look across at Ni'ihau. And in my mele, that's exactly what I shared. And then in my Oli, I also shared about Wailua, which is where Mo'ikeha arrived to Kauai, and spoke about how the pahu sounds and it resonates in my heart. And that brings me right back to Kalaheo. Um, so my Oli was actually really special to me. It mentions my great grandmother's name, Kahili Ulai Kawaio Kuali'i, and it says how she strings together these hau blossoms, and that connects you right back to the Wailua River, where that you can see there's all hau lining that river, and you can just imagine when Mo'ikeha was arriving, those hau trees could have been there, and he could have seen all of that hau flowing down the Wailua River. So my Oli I hold dear to my heart. That was an introduction to who I am as a person. And then my Ka'i, I shared about, I was telling Mo'ikeha land, come, be here, be with me. And then, of course, my Mele spoke about Koi. So that was kind of the journey of my Hula Kahiko. And then my Hula Awana, we decided to pay tribute to Queen Kapi'olani, as I am a proud descendant of her. And that was another mele that kind of just found us. It's an upbeat, fun mele. And of course, we used Enihi Kahele as my ka'i and ho'i, which was written by her husband, King Kalakaua. And we just thought it was so fitting because it talks about the ocean and traveling. And that's something that I've been doing my entire life. I went to Chivas Kamakahele Middle School and then got into Kamehameha schools, graduated from there in 2019, moved to Hilo and got my bachelor's of science in nursing degree there, and then finally decided it was time to move home. So I moved home in October, and I just feel like I was able to relate to Kapi'olani on so many levels, not only for the traveling, but also because of her big heart for caring for our people and setting a foundation for our Hawaiian people health and well-being. And so that's how my hula awana came to be. And then of course there's the physical training, which if I wasn't here training at the Hālau, I was at home doing this over and over in my living room. And it's not even just the physical part, as I mentioned before, it's really creating that connection, sitting down, looking at the mele. What is every word? You have to bring life to the word. You can't just say it and just smile, because there's more life to it than that. So, really looking at the mele and then building that connection and making sure that I was able to share that story with everyone there in the stadium. And so that's kind of the mental connection. And then there's that spiritual connection, fully trusting in God that everything is going to happen the way it's supposed to be. People were asking me up until the moment I took the stage, oh, how are you feeling? And of course, there was a little nerves, not going to lie about that. But then I remembered again, why are we going to worry when we have faith? Like, God already knows the result of this. And even if it wasn't the title, I did my job. I brought life to both the stories I was sharing, and I made a song. I made everybody proud. That was my goal. I even told my dad the night before I left. I told my dad, no matter what song, I make you guys proud. I did my job, and that's all. I waited for this moment my entire life, and I'm just so blessed. And like I said, the title, yeah, it's special, but I come home and we were greeted so, it was such a warm homecoming yesterday, from Crash Fire welcoming us with that water salute, coming into the airport and seeing so many people. And the highlight of that for me was the little kids, all the keiki, coming up to me, Auntie, I want to be just like you. I'm like, huh? Me? I was like, did we just do that? I was like, oh man. So that was the highlight of that. But it's been a journey, and I feel like well, now it's another journey starting, but it's a journey where we can continue to share, because that's our kuleana. And we thank those who came before us as well, Kumre, Uncle George, all of those who, Auntie Lovey, who taught my kumu. We thank them because they really set the foundation and allowed her to teach me what she knows, and then support all of us as we take on these competitions, which really I see as storytelling moments, not so much a competition.
Yeah, yesterday your flight was delayed. Your flight was
Yeah,
really, really
sorry about
delayed.
that.
No, I apologize,
There's a
but
lot going
no,
on
but
at Honolulu Airport.
it gave me an opportunity to go and interview a bunch. I don't know if you got to see that video that I put together yesterday. While we were waiting, I just interviewed a lot of the people that were there, a lot of your halal members, but there were a lot of kids there, and they were all so excited to welcome you all home. And as Kumu has touched so many people, Jaedyn, your journey has well, it started a while ago, but now that's your kuleana, right? Now it's to go give these girls this opportunity to to do what you're doing for the culture, for hula, for God. I think it's just so amazing. I did have a question. As I was watching all the different halal perform, a lot of the melee that these halal use were connected to kawaii. I, I told
Thank
my
you
wife,
for noticing that.
it was
Thank
like, okay, you got
a
Oahu
lot.
halal, you got Big Island halal, but they're choosing mele that is directly connected to Kauai. It, all I, it just makes me believe that Kauai is that special that so many of these songs come back here. Why is that?
Every year.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I've had so many musicians. Gosh, I don't have my phone by me, but who loves Kauai so much? I mean, so many people do, and they tell me that all the time. But Kumuhula Robert Uluvehi Casimero, he loves Kauai. He loves Kauai. We have so many beautiful mele that comes out of our island. And there's much, some we haven't even touched or unearthed yet. And I'm hoping, we can continue. Like Jaden's Mele is so old. No one has ever shared that before. And I love that. I love when Mele finds us and says, hey, share me with the world, because hopefully 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, there's another little girl that says, or another Kumuhula that is inspired by Jaden's presentation and decides, I want to share that Mele, and Jaden just brought that Mele back to life. And so, yeah, lots of kawaii mele. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this was awesome. Was awesome. Uh, Cousin Mero was so fun to watch on the stage when he
Oh,
won.
wasn't that
Yeah.
touching? Like when they waved aloha. Oh my
They're
gosh.
amazing.
They were amazing. Like it's just, he's um Kumu Robert, he texts me about every other week and just to check in with me. And for me, that's so special because I don't have my Kumu physically here. And so he's kind of taken that place. You could see him on the stage turn to me and share his love, and I to him when I went up. And I love that. I love that he stepped into that role to be that source of inspiration and light for me in hula. Yeah.
Charlie, you look like you have a question.
No, it's. I feel like tonight is a special night for me. I have another Kamehameha alumnus on that side, and I too
Yes.
graduated from Kamehameha in '77. So when you speak about finding a lot of roots that have been planted and now you're rediscovering it, I feel that's why I'm real intrigued because I blame myself. I went to Kamehameha from the third grade all the way until I graduated, and I should have taken more advantage of my Hawaiian heritage, but I goofed off a lot of the time. And back then, it was different from now. My son graduated from Kamehameha. My daughter-in-law graduated from Kamehameha, and there's so much that it has to offer. But
Mhm.
one thing that I always look at, and that's why I watch intently watching the Merrie Monarch. And I wanted to ask you, Kumu, about we talked about Robert Casimiro. He's
Mhm.
a classmate of my brother, and I remember the days of going down to the tavern and watching them play. Uh, with the Sunday Manoa. But as the years go on, things change. But he really started to, after his brother passed away, he really started to pull in the reins of his music. And watching that, and as I'm a musician myself, and I tell the guys, hey, let's leave the reggae music to the young kids, but
Mhm.
let's do a Hawaiian music again, and that's where we're going. But I wanted to ask you a question. I see every year this gentleman coming in from Oakland, Markelli
Oh,
Ho'omalo, right? So he comes
yes.
in from Oakland, and I'm really amazed at his style. But for some reason, and I don't want to say anything negative other than I'm glad it does put a little different twist on things, especially with
Mhm.
the different halaus that's out there. What's your take? How do you feel about what he's presented? Because I think every year he gets better and better,
Mhm.
but it's just
I agree with you. I agree
Mark.
with you 100%. And I want to be very careful in what I say because I am a huge fan of Mark Kelly.
Me too.
We are huge fans. Like when I see him, I'm starstruck, starstruck. In fact, it is my goal to get him to Kauai for our ho'ike. I'm going to be working on doing something with him. And he he said, if I can make it, I'll make it. Just let me know. But it's like, okay, with him, you just don't know if he's gonna show up or not, because he's just like that. Life, he just cruises through life. Um, but I know, he is definitely a fan favorite. And I think what a lot of people, and he knows this as well, we know this as Kumuhula, there are rules that there's a portfolio, a folder that they give you of rules that the Merrie Monarch Festival gives you when you participate. And so if we don't abide by those rules, and again, these rules aren't rules that Auntie Luana or any of the Kumuhula recent made up. These are rules that Uncle George Naope, who is my lineage, created. I believe, I want to say, with Auntie, with the Kanaka Ole Ohana, with some very, very, very well respected people in the hula world. Just the foundation for a lot of us are hula. So, I think the public, they don't really know about these different things. There's different things you can't use. Certain things are considered props. There's certain lei you cannot use. There's different requirements that have to be done. A lot of stuff behind the scene that we kumuhula know that we have to do or not do, and that the public don't know. And so sometimes, people get really hard on the judges, but myself and Kumu Mark and everybody, we know the rules and we know things we can do or cannot do. And some of us are willing to say, hey, you know what? My creativity is, I want to share my creativity. And I think that is huge. And he should be highly, like totally respected for that, right? He knows that when he comes, if he does things that is kind of outside of the box, he knows it may not be looked high, upon really well by the judges, but he still does it. He still does it because he believes in his creativity. And what he creates today, what people got to understand is what he creates today will become traditional someday. So it may not be traditional right now, but someday his lineage will follow his footsteps and it'll become more accepted, maybe, down the line. My apologies about Brady. I'm going to try and get my husband in here to get Brady out. But yeah, so that is where what some people don't understand. Hold on, here's Sean Jardin to the rescue.
What's up,
Gonna let
Sean?
him out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Patsy
and
loves him. I mean, Patsy. I mean, how can you
here
not
comes
love
the
this
guy. Here
guy?
comes the guy. Here's
How
my
can?
husband.
Hey, what's up, Sean? Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
No,
Patsy.
I was
Patsy loves him.
gonna say that he did that one where he was beating his drum, right,
Mhm,
single-handedly,
mhm,
and throughout the
mhm.
entire performance, that level of speed that he was operating at, and I could see him pulling away from the mic, coughing, went back on
Oh
the
yeah.
mic, not skipping a beat. I said,
Oh yeah. When he
man,
goes
that's
to the mic, you
endurance.
know who's at that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
And
mean,
so
unbelievable
I
indeed.
guarantee you he does well. Like I think
Yeah.
score wise, again, there's only 5 places, but he gets invited back because he continues to do well score wise. I don't know if people know, but I believe it's the bottom 4 each year for the Merrie Monarch cannot return, and that
Oh,
opens the door for other halal. Yeah, so you have to be invited to Merrie Monarch, but each year it's been the festival's tradition that the bottom 4 scoring halal does not get the invitation to return back. That does not mean they cannot ever come back, but they get moved out, the bottom 4 scorers, so that other halal entity can invite new halal to come and participate. But Mark consistently, participates pretty much. And so that tells us that he's in the ballpark, like he's doing well, and he does. And we all love him. I mean, Merrie Monarch, when he gets to, on the stage, it's the atmosphere changes. It turns into
well,
a huge
I mean,
concert. Like the audience goes crazy
he's
and we go
definitely
crazy. This is what people gotta understand. The halal loves it. All the halal love him.
he's definitely a fan favorite. He shows up with his
Yeah,
sunglasses. He get the that
yeah.
sunglasses, and they interviewed him on the news, and he said, he comes here, he like you say, he wants to share his creativity, he wants to entertain
Yep,
the
yep.
audience, and that's what he does. And to do all of that, and because he's so different, he's just different. But like you said, I wasn't aware that people don't get invited back if you score in the bottom 4. So obviously,
Mhm.
he's doing enough to stay in
Does
in
well.
the game. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yep,
I hope
yep,
you can get him to
yep.
Kauai. I want to meet him. Patsy would kill to meet him.
We're
Um,
gonna need Vidina Stadium if we
I
get Mark Kelly Iho Amalu to Kauai, right? Convention hall ain't gonna cut it. Yeah.
yeah, I tell you, yeah, do what you can, man. We'll get him here. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
so
We will try.
so I know at the airport yesterday, your message you says we get KQ Hula coming up in a couple of months.
Mhm.
So what for Jaedyn? What I mean, you do you continue to? I mean, you can only do Miss Aloha Hula once, right? Is that it? You get one shot at it, or
If you're successful and you win the title, you only get one. That's your one
you're done?
time to hold the title. But yes, if you run for Miss Aloha Hula and you place, or maybe you didn't place, you can run again. So long you don't age out, because that has rules as well. Yeah, you have to be between 18 and 25. Can't have kids. Can't be married. So long you meet the requirements, then you can run. And if your Kumu selects you,
And Kumu, what KQ Hula that's coming up in a couple of months. So has that
That is
preparations?
coming up in July. So Yeah, we're gonna start and get a very, very special group of keiki we're taking this year. So I'm super excited for them. Jaden and I have not since Thursday, we've been dealing with emails and phone calls and requests, and we just want to thank everybody for thinking about her and utilizing her. And there's been just some interesting phone calls of organizations reaching out for her to speak, or for different things, which I'm so excited about. And then just today alone, we've received two invitations, and to outside of our country. So I'll leave it at that. I can't disclose too much information, but we definitely, definitely have a joint calendar, and we got to stay on top of it because we're going to be very busy in the next year.
Well, me and Charlie, for
Well,
your
you know,
information, are
Japan. Yeah.
professional bag carriers. We professional security. So whatever you guys need, just let us know.
Thank you. Thank you. We would actually
Well,
love
you
that.
know, Mel, I used to be Yokozuna quality, but not anymore.
That's all right, man. No worry. We just no worry. We get them. We get them. We get them. Yeah, yeah.
And I got to share. Oh,
No, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I wanted to share one more thing. Oh my gosh. So when my ladies were lined up outside before they went on stage for their hula awana, for that palisa song. That song is about it's about Paris, but it was written by a young patient there living in Kalaupapa on Molokai, and anyhow, and he writes about how his imagination took him around the world to Paris in a hot air balloon, and to see Egypt and India, all of this, just kind of imagining himself going to all these places, knowing he could never physically leave Kalaupapa, right? And so when the girls were lined up to go onto stage, I said, if you folks can take everyone to Paris tonight and deliver this hula, I will take you to Paris. And they
Wow.
ended up winning first place. So now we
So
got
we're
to
going
figure
to
out.
Paris.
So we're looking for any sponsors who wants to take us to Paris.
Oh, okay, villagers, the villagers that are watching, let's go. We know we get some villagers that get a lot of money. So come on, just write the check. Let's write the check.
Yes, yes, we need to go. I need to fulfill that promise to the girls to take them to Paris.
Yeah, we're so honored. Charlie and I are so honored and blessed that you guys agreed to come on the show tonight, because I know you guys got to be tired. You gotta, and after hearing you talk about all the emails and phone calls and invitations, and you know, I wanted to ask you folks to join the show, and then part of me said, Mel, just do not even bother them. Let them enjoy. Let them relax. But I wanted to share this journey, share the story with everyone. So as we were waiting, and I ran into Jaedyn, I ran into your dad, and I said, "Man, I would really love to have her and Kumu on our show." He said, "Yeah, but that would be good." I said, "Yeah, but I shame ask. I scared ask. I don't like. She going guarantee, guarantee." So, and both of you were so quick to say yes. So I just want to say thank you, folks, because
Yeah.
you guys are like top level celebrities right now, top level, and
Um,
you are, and what you folks accomplished was just simply amazing. So yeah, definitely want to thank you guys. Thank you guys.
and
So
please know we don't, we always talk about that and kind of pinch ourselves because that's not why we do what we do. That's not, and again, all of this is not an accident. Jaden becoming Miss Aloha Hula, after my journey is not an accident. This is just a platform for us to share, for me to inspire others that have health issues in their life to be strong and to make change and take control of their life. And for Jaden to inspire our Keiki, our future. Our this world that we live in now is a bit more challenging than it was when we were young. And our Keiki, I tell you, I see them just, their eyes glisten when they look up at Jaden and Breeze and all Brylin and all our dancers. Like, you can see them just aspiring to be like them. And that means the world to me, because I've always told parents, I always tell them, There's people that bring their kids to hula and then remove them, and they regret it. And I feel bad because hula teaches so much. Like, this is a product not only of hula. I mean, we're a great family too. My my brother and sister-in-law created a great daughter, but Jaedyn is truly a product of what can come out of hula, because hula teaches you everything you need for life. First of all, aloha, respect, hard work, you know um humility, right?
Commitment.
Commitment. Like, we need that. And so, Gary,
Yeah, aloha,
Gary,
Gary, brother
aloha,
Gary. I mean,
Gary. We gotta get
Charles.
Gary to my hoike. I keep on trying. I
My
tell you,
God, Gary, please.
love you, and Sheldine so much. Sheldine, I shouted out, made a shout out to her when Kiahi interviewed Jaedyn, because Kiahi said the first Miss Hula from Kauai, and I'm like, wait, I'm so proud of Sheldine. Sheldine, um, Kaleo Hano now Halea Mau from Kauai Girl, who won Miss Aloha Hula dancing when she was dancing for Mai Kumu Ray Fonseca. I don't remember what year, but she was a Kauai girl. And then also Kumu Hula. I just had a brain. Healani Yun is from Kauai. She was also Miss Aloha Hula for Daryl Lupanui. And so we have a couple Miss Aloha Hula that came from Kauai. Gary, all my aloha. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they're on. Can't wait to celebrate with you guys in Vegas.
Yeah, we always get starstruck when we get these people pop up on the show.
Oh,
Um,
I love it. I
I
love
know we
it.
gotta have you guys on more often, because when me and Charlie on, we don't get the celebrities. No, we don't. We get our wives, and yeah.
No.
Yeah, one show. What Yokozuna popped on and ended up becoming a guest on the show. Pamai
Konishiki.
says, I mean, Koniski, sorry. Koniski, Yokozuna Koniski. Mahalo for sharing the behind the scenes, the intentions of your health, Miss Aloha Hula and Merrie Monarch journey with us tonight. We appreciate it and appreciate you, your art, and your representation. Mahalo for your time. I think a lot
Mahalo.
of people, yeah. It's just fun when you get to watch people that you know and you love, and you almost consider as family, and when they do well, and just hearing you explain, it's not about the trophy, it's not about the ipo, it's not about any of that. It's about exactly what you talked about all night long. It's preserving the culture, educating all of us. I think there's a lot of people on this show tonight that are watching the show tonight, and there's quite a few that are just even more interested in learning more about this place. Just because of the short
Mhm.
interview that we had tonight, Jaedyn and Kumu, and I
Mhm.
hope that we can really expand on that, so our keiki can appreciate this place, um, going in the future. It's so
Yes.
important, so
Yes.
important.
Definitely.
Amazing, man. I'd like to keep
And
you guys
thank
on
you,
all
to
night
both of
long.
you. No, I know. But thank you to both of you for doing, what you do, right? Because again, you've provided us a platform to share our story. And so, of course, we're going to say yes to you folks, right? Because this is our opportunity to share. We have, kuleana, and that we will do so proudly, and we're
Yes.
honored. Yeah.
And I think it's, yes, the journey is great. We love to talk about it, but we remember that it's not possible, first of all, with Kelkua, and then all the people who have helped us. I mean,
Mhm.
so many people were involved. Our sponsors, thank you to them. I mean, the people of Kauai and Iho, our family and friends, our
Allow.
Kahihilo
Yeah.
Leni family in Hilo, the Merrie Monarch staff, Auntie Luana, Auntie Kathy. I
Mhm.
mean, the list goes on. There's so many people to be grateful for and to thank. Our musicians.
Our
I mean, the list goes
musicians.
on.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
musicians help us bring these stories to life. And I mean, we could sit here and probably just thank people all night, but thank you for having us on here because it allows us that as well to come on here and show our gratitude for everyone. Because, like today, people are like, "You went to work?" And I'm like, you know what? I did because even those people that I'm working with deserve to celebrate as well. It's their win, it's Kauai's win. Everything we did is a reflection of
Yeah.
our people and So we're so grateful.
And it's so important. I know you hear us saying sponsors, but Mel and Charlie, I wanna talk about this a little bit before, I don't know what time we're at here, but each year we go to Merrie Monarch. It cost us the halal. thousands and thousands of dollars to get there. We not only go Merrie Monarch Week, but we go up to Hilo about 2 weeks prior to practice on the stage. It is so important. So we fly to Hilo twice. We have our costumes, our musicians. God bless musicians. You know, people say, what's our biggest expense? It's our music. And I do it because, first of all, nobody was going to want me singing up there. But if you take, like, the musicians are worth it, right? They're worth the time they take off of work. They take off of work almost a whole week. Anyhow, so much expense goes into what we do. And I wish there was a way, I truly wish there was a way that all the halal who participate, because they're invited, and yes, we make the decision to do it, but I wish there was a way that the expense would be covered by somebody, because for us this year and last year I came up with this idea that I told the girls, I want you guys to focus on your hula. Let's get people to sponsor you. I'm sure there's businesses that would love to sponsor you guys. And you know what? We have over 50 businesses that sponsored us this year. They had their choice to be a Maile Lauli sponsor, a Mokihana sponsor, and up to $5,000, which was an Alakai sponsor. And many, many came in and sponsored. And gosh, I wish I could name them all right now. I can't. But we created a banner with all their logos. We had their logos all on our shirts when we left for Hilo. And everywhere we went in Hilo, we opened that banner and took a picture, and posted about them and thanked them. And now we have businesses calling us saying, like, I mean, the day we left, I had a business call me and say, how can we be a sponsor? And I'm like, amen, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, right? So that Jaedyn can focus. She's a nurse. She works, I have students, I have teachers, I have
Moms.
moms. Like, you can only sell so many bags of chips and
Cookies
you
and
know,
brownies.
I know, Tyson. Hey, why me? Always Tyson. Yes, why me? But yeah, yeah. And
It
this,
takes away that
yeah, it takes away the
stress,
pressure,
that
the
thought.
financial pressure. And I shared this with other Kumu on Oahu, and they said, oh, no can, because get so much Oahu halal. And I'm like, but you have so many more businesses on Oahu that want to participate. Again, I can't shout out one person because I think it wouldn't be fair, but I know there's so many. There's businesses that um, work in our visitor industry, right? And they have all these visitors come to Kauai. Oh my gosh, how wonderful that they took a little bit of that money that they used to show off our island to support the hula. I mean, just great, just great. And I'm so grateful. And we're gonna thank them forever. And if there's more sponsors out there that want to join in, we will gladly accept you to join our lay of kokua. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Um, I had a question and I just kind of forgot what it was. But anyway, we
Shots. I'm
appreciate you.
sorry.
No, no, no. It's not you. It's just comments like Tyson. Tyson. We talking, and
I
he
know he's
talk about
stoked
the
that I'm
baseball
wearing my
cap. Yeah,
Dominican hat.
he gonna go with the
Yeah.
baseball cap. I cannot actually put a
Yeah.
lot of his comments on the screen because it's not appropriate for women and children. But hey,
Uh-oh.
no,
Okay.
no, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Here's a good one, Tyson. Yo, you all did great yet again this year. Congrats on your halal and the hard work put in. Kipukai today said, he said on his video that he did yesterday that it's almost becoming, you guys do so well every year that it's becoming normal. And but my gosh,
Oh,
the work that it takes to get to where you guys are at, incredible,
thank you.
incredible, incredible. Ah,
Thank
Charlie.
you so
Oh, yeah, yeah, Charlie. Like I said, oh, hold on.
Yes,
Oh, you
sir.
know what? Yeah. You mentioned Breeze, and you know what? What I
Mhm.
was so happy to see. Breeze is Kumu's daughter. If for those of you that don't know, but when they were showing the announced Miss Aloha Hula, she like was jumping up and down and screaming and yelling. And even yesterday, as you guys came off into the baggage claim, the sincerity and the genuineness of, yes, that's your cousin. Um, it just seemed like she was so happy for you. It just touched my heart that we all know Breeze. Um, I don't want to get into the discussion of when Breeze was ran for Miss Aloha Hula,
Right.
but it was just nice to see that love between cousins and Kumu Hula Halau sisters. It was just so nice to see her just so happy for you, and I thought that was just awesome.
Yes, me and Breeze are inseparable. We're like sisters. She has done so much for me on this journey. There was nights when I just called her like, we gotta meet and practice. Like I want to run things, and she was the one that was there. She helped me in designing my pa'u. She had a lot of say with Kumu on what my costumes were gonna look like. She actually did. You
A
guys are gonna be
lot.
amazed. She also did my makeup for my kahiko and my awana on stage. Like she does it the best. She did my hair and makeup for my headshots. I mean, it goes on and on. She does so much, not just for me, even, but for the group. She organized everything. I mean, she was keeping track of the sponsors, doing those, those beautiful posts that were coming out, like thank you
That's all
post. That's all
Breeze.
Breeze. Like she
Yeah.
does it all. I made the packing list. She finalizes it. She packs the shirts to give them out. I mean, Breeze has stepped up to the plate in so many ways, and I could never thank her enough. I mean, that night I was just like, Breeze, thank you. Like, there is no physical gift that I could ever give Breeze to thank her because really, and someone told me when you went out there, you are literally like representing her, your Kumu, like everyone, and that's really the goal because they all poured so much love and time into my presentations, and that's exactly what we were trying to do there. So yeah, she definitely stepped up to the plate, and
I'm
we
so proud
can't
of her,
thank
and
her enough.
I hope she's watching and or jumping on or watches this after. But she she
She's
was
actually
you
watching
know
Kumu, and she just texted
she,
me the picture of all the sponsors. I'm trying to get it synced so I can actually share it on the screen, but it's not cooperating. But yeah, she's
I
she's
just want to
on.
share that. I just want to share that 29 years ago, when I came home from UH Hilo, I had plans to go to college on Oahu to get my master's in speech pathology. And my mom was diagnosed with colon cancer, and my plans changed. And I put off my education to stay home with my mom. And in that time, that's a whole other story. But I became a kumuhula and opened my halau at a very young age. Um, and Breeze was set to go to law school, and she put off her plans to. Did we lose you, Mel? No.
Not right
She
there.
put off her plan. Okay, she put off her plans um, to jump into my shoes and to take care of the halal, along with the rest of our alakai. She will acknowledge that, right? She's had so much support. But in the car coming home today from the baseball game, I said Breeze, because Breeze, ran for Miss Hula 2 years ago, and we're so proud of her. She danced for Keakua, and we would do it again. If we had to, we wouldn't have changed a thing, because everything happens for a reason. Um, but Breeze still has a year of eligibility where she could run again for Miss Aloha, and many halau do that. That's the option of the kumu. And I in the car today, and that's you can imagine the amount of text and emails, and every time someone sees Breeze, it's just constant, constant, constant. Are you going to run again? Are you going to run again? Are you going to run again? And she turned to me in the car today and she said, Mom, I I won when Jaedyn won. And so I'm so proud of her. As a mom I would want her to say I'll do it again. But she said, Mom, I'm in a different place. I'm at a different level. My kuleana has changed. I prepared Jaedyn for that stage, and I'm just in a different place. And when Jaedyn won, I won. And she's so right. She's so right. And I know that may break the hearts of many around the world, because they always is asking for her to do it again. But Oh, look at her. She's like, I love you all. She must be crying too. But yeah, she said, Mom,
Yeah,
I won when
I cannot,
Right.
I cannot.
I know, enough crying.
I think
I
it's
don't even know how we
it's
have
the
tears left.
no, it's the allergies. I get allergies in this damn
Yeah.
place. I think it's the Vogue. I think it's the Vogue. I just wanted to shoot some Mr.
Oh,
Kanahele.
Thomas Kanahele, mahalo nui a oi.
I'm just gonna run through the comments real quick. You got a lot of yeah, I know. Damn, I knew we'd have tears tonight. I just did, I just did. But
I mean,
we
this,
are gonna.
Lisa, is one of my parents. Our halal, and that's another thing is our Kauai. We have such great halal. I mean, everybody. I, I just I just love all my students so much and their parents, and I just am so grateful for the parents that understand how wonderful hula is for their children's life. Like I cannot, if it's not my halal, get them in hula. I'm telling you, it's just it's a wonderful thing. Not only hula though, I encourage multiple things. Keep your kids active
And no eat sugar.
and
Don't eat
no eat
sugar.
sugar. So I told my son, we all got to make changes, but we got to start somewhere. Mommy got to take big steps. You can take little steps, but what is it going to be? And we're all just taking everybody around baby steps at a time. But for those of us that have health issues, we gotta take that big step of sugar, vegetable oil out. People, we've learned so much. You should do a show one night. I'm not kidding, Mel and Charlie, with my brother William. He'll give you so much insight into
We'd love to have them.
what's out there.
Oh
Oh my
look,
gosh, he's learned so much.
Straight
Uncle Charlie, no, straight in the trash can. William is gonna say no, 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 no. I know that's my favorite. That is my favorite. I learned
that
so
is
much.
mine
Like
too. That is mine too. And
I
Patsy doesn't
love
allow
peanut butter.
me. So before we went on live, Patsy told me, tell Kumu that when she's ready, I'll bake for her. And I said, yeah, unless you're baking sugar free. But you said you cheat, right? You do cheat.
Once in a while I do partake, and I have my eye looking where my brother's at to make sure he's not watching me. But what happens with that though is when you cheat and then you want to cheat again and cheat again, that's when I gotta say, stop, so I juice. That's my dessert for the day. Is I try to juice twice a day: 5 carrots, 3 celery, 1 apple, and turmeric. That is my recipe, and that is my dessert. So,
Wonderful. That
Oh,
is
and
this
it's so
is my
ono.
secret.
It's so
When
ono.
you go to the store,
Yeah.
you buy the one that's empty. See, that's the one you
There
buy.
you
You buy the
go.
empty package. There you go.
see what I gotta do it every week. I get like peanuts or wheat thins. That's what I get over here. And Charlie, if it's not his Snickers, it's his and Reese's is my favorite. He does that. He drives me nuts. He
Oh,
does
it's
that.
so ono. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well,
But
I
once in a while, not too bad. Once in a
yeah.
while.
Well, for Charlie, it's all the time. It's not once in a while. And once in a while, he'll eat a celery. Or I I would pay to watch him eat one carrot, celery, turmeric juice. I would pay for watch that. I would
Oh,
pay.
Oh, it's so delicious.
I just
More
love
people have to.
cauliflower, cauliflower and
You
chocolate
like
syrup.
cauliflower?
Mm.
You
You
know
know
what
what?
though? There's things that I never thought. Like today I went to Konohiki, shout out to them, and the girls are so awesome. Like I'm like, no rice, what can you do for me? They're like, we can do a poke salad for you, and that's because rice is a no-no, right? White rice will
Mhm.
turn into sugar. So I don't cancer loves sugar. Let's talk about it. Cancer loves sugar. The one of the best ways to test if you have cancer in your body is called a PET scan. And what do they do with that? They push sugar in your body, and the cancer lights up. Hey, right? Because it's so happy it's getting sugar. I'm just putting that in a very simple way for people to understand. But it's you can't. I do fruits, definitely. I do fruits, natural sugar, but I just don't do any.
Cool.
anything to
I'm
add
not
in.
laughing. I'm not laughing at you, but I'm watching
That's what too
Charlie's
much.
face.
I'm too
I'm watching
serious.
Charlie's face. Charlie's face had just go upside down when you.
No, but I want to show you, Kumu, that this is sugar-free Reese's peanut butter cups. It's good. It's good. See, now I'm looking at Mel's face and he giving me that. I don't buy that.
Oh, I tell you. Hey,
Too much. Oh my
ladies.
gosh, I love it.
Again,
It's good, but laughter is medicine.
I know
Laughter is
that's
good
it.
medicine.
And that's why we do this show every week. It's like tonight. Tonight there were two things I wanted to do tonight. I wanted to accomplish was number one, celebrate your
Yes.
halal and what you all did at the Merrie Monarch at all levels. Whether you had the trophy or not, the performances were outstanding, and we wanted to showcase that and honor that and recognize you for that. And then the second part, which I appreciate you sharing your story, is hope and faith that there's a lot of people struggling, and there's people that are watching this right now that either themselves may be going through some health challenges, or they know someone that is. And I think just listening to you and your outlook on life, and how you went from fear to you felt the blood all leaving your body, to your brother telling you form a team. And I remember you introducing your team at the
Oh,
Hoike.
Ku'ule former
Oh,
team.
Kule. Sorry,
Ku'ule
I'm
said
sorry.
former, and
Yeah,
then William was like the head of the team and getting everybody in place.
yeah, and you recognized all of them at the Hoike, or most of them, and
Mhm.
but again, the whole idea was to provide hope for people that you get that terrible diagnosis, whatever it may be. um, you have an opportunity to fight and win, and that's
Mhm.
what I wanted to accomplish
Mhm.
tonight. And I'm so glad that you were able to share that story. And of course, Jaedyn,
Thank you.
my gosh, unbelievable performance. Congratulations on your. Charlie just
Thank you
went
so
to go.
much.
Charlie just said go get the scissors
Just
for.
went make a bowl of ice cream or something.
No, I get so
Oh,
sensitive around here in Waimea Valley. There's always somebody starting on fire, and I started to smell something burn like on fire,
oh
and
my
it's
God.
coming from up the street. So I said, "Oh no," because the last time it was a street
I hear you.
over, the house in the corner was burning, and I said, "Gee, somebody got mean hibachi going, not knowing the house was on fire." So I just wanted to go check, but
Right.
everything's a okay, a okay. I wanted to share with all of you, and I know this, the journey, and you called me. I remember that when I got that call from you, Kumu, and it reminded me. So I'll be real quick and say that, with your faith and trust. I remember I told you, your body will succumb to whatever it wants if you don't fight hard enough. And I kept on telling you got to fight.
Mhm.
There is no looking back.
Mhm.
And so, before Auntie and I got married, I was married before, and I lost my wife to cancer. And next thing you know, I had a career as a police officer, and the next thing you know, my career was done because I had to raise three boys. I could not raise them. And so then I met Auntie, who got married, and a lot of people don't know about, maybe 3, 4 years ago, she just wasn't feeling well. Same place, she went to KVMH, and there was a very large mass that was growing, and we didn't know what was going on. And they removed it, and we discovered that it was already starting. She had a precancerous tumor. But through the grace of God, everything got removed, and she's been cancer free ever since.
Amen.
So that's why there are some nights I get real tired because I may be lying down and I look and I say, what would life be if she wasn't here? But you gotta think
Right.
positive. I said, probably my baby gonna outlive me. So now I gotta take care of myself. So to the viewers out there, what you heard from Kumu and what I'm telling you is nothing is impossible. You just have to have the
Correct.
right frame of mind to really push hard. And the thing is,
Mhm.
you'll run a marathon like you never run. In fact, in 2011 and 12, when I had my open heart surgery, before I said goodbye to Auntie when they pushed me to the operating room, not knowing what's going to be a 9 hour procedure. She told me, honey, all I got to ask you is fight. Please fight. Because if you don't, I'm not going to see you again. And when she told me that, I said, I promise. And then when I woke up, I said, God answers prayers. So I
Mhm.
know for
Mhm.
you, Kumu, God is answering
Yeah.
prayers. There's so many signs that exist, and you cannot dispel those signs. You have to take those signs for what it's worth, and it's telling you something. And He's got you on that
Yeah.
right path. And I want you to
Yes.
continue going. Never look back. Just always look forward, because your support team will keep up with you.
Yes.
Just promise us that,
Yes. I'm so
and I
blessed.
know
I'm so
you'll live
blessed.
a long and happy life. I know you will live a long and happy life. So
Thank
that's my
you.
word for today,
Thank
Brother
you
Mel,
so much.
and to all of our viewers out there.
Awesome. Well, ladies, I want to thank you all again. It was fun. It was inspirational. It's I love when our viewers put comments in Hawaiian. Uh, I think again,
Yes.
you God
Pray always. Pray always. Yep.
God is using you. God is using your halal. God is using just the inspirational messages. I think is going to help a lot of people, and we just so proud and honored to have you on our show. You want any closing comments before we let you folks go? We went way beyond our time, but anything that closing
Well, I
comments
wanted
for?
to see if you could pull up. I wanted to see if you could pull up that sponsor thing. Were you able to get it from Breeze?
Yeah,
Because
it
I
won't.
would love to shout out to the sponsors.
Let me try again. It didn't allow me to, and I don't know why, because it's
Share it.
usually, yeah, it's. Hold on. Oh, now it's letting me do it. All
Yay.
right.
You see? Pule. Yes. Thank you, Lord. Thank you so much. So we call this our lay of kokua. So these are all the businesses. They either were Maililauli'i or Mokihana sponsors. They sponsored thousands of dollars to us. But I would love to read them all off, but I'm not going to do that. But everyone take a look at that because these businesses support all that is Hawaii. They supported our halal. They wanted us to share our hula, and that just tells me is that they tell me that they love Kauai. They love their home. They love the people. Go and support all of these, and we're gonna post it up on our Instagram site and just share this with the world. And when you go in, please just say mahalo to all these businesses for us. If you're at Kauai Cookie getting their famous loco moco, please say mahalo. If you're at Dr. Lucky at Blessed Hands, please say mahalo for us. If you're at the shrimp station in Waimea, please say mahalo for us. Luau Kalamaku, you name it. Look at all of that there. Just, Wa'alani, Captain Andy's always a huge supporter of us. It just Grow Farm. It goes on and on. And oh my gosh, I just mahalo all of these businesses who played a huge part in getting us to Hilo and bringing us home. And look at this. It's just, oh, I just love it. I just love it. I'm so, so, so grateful to all of these people that are generous. They didn't have to be, but they're all so generous in helping us. And Mel, this tells us that that business and community partnership is so important, so important.
I think.
I would like to say one last thing, Mel.
Go ahead.
With what we have here, I was just thinking, if we say we love Kauai, if we
Yes.
just dig a little deeper into our pockets, $100, $200 from everybody on Kauai, and we say we love Kauai, this would be, I think, a really good way of making a really good investment on our ambassador of Kauai, and that is the halal and Kumu that
Mm,
shares with the world,
mahalo,
because that really
mahalo.
puts Kauai on the map. So I think if we just make a pledge to let's just dig down. Everybody, I mean, you think about it. Several thousand people just bring out, if you can. I'm not saying you have to, but if you can, just $200 a piece. It will get you to your goal. Definitely, it'll get you to your goal. And I think,
Yes.
Mel, I think we're gonna do that. I'll be the first one to throw it in, and I'll put a challenge to anybody that's watching tonight. You want to challenge me? Like they say, put your money where your mouth is. Let's do it.
He's so cute.
You heard it here on the Coconut Wireless.
Yep,
Uncle Charlie, he
yep.
does this. Yep, he challenged me. Then you know I gotta match him, right? If you do mine, I gotta match him, right? Lord have mercy.
Yep.
But anyway,
Thank
I'd be
Thank
happy to
you so
help.
much.
I gotta tell you, I inspirational is, I guess, is best I can say. We appreciate you guys. We're sorry we kept you guys on longer. We got a lot of people
No
watching. A lot of
problem.
people are gonna watch this, and I think they're gonna get the message. And anytime you guys want to jump back on, if you want to do a PSA, you want to come on and give us updates, just let us know. We'll get you guys
Mel,
on.
where can we get a location where we can send our challenge money to Kumu? If you can get us the information, because there's some people says, hey, I'll match it, I'm in. You know, let us know where we can send it to, and
Right,
we'll
right.
do it. I'll do it right away.
All right.
You can text us
Breeze
later,
is
or
on
just
here and she's
yeah.
in charge of that. So
Hey, Breeze.
she can
Hey, Breeze, put it in the comments. If you can just put it in the comments of
Yeah.
on Facebook, and then just put the link or whatever it is, a website, whatever it is.
and
Yeah.
we are a nonprofit organization, so you can write it off.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
But thank
So
You
you
know,
so much for you guys' time. Thank you to Kauai and Ni'ihau and everyone who's listening to this around the world. Stay tuned. Like I said, today was a big day. We got some huge invitations today to some big things coming up for us, and so we want to share that with everyone as soon as I'm able to, and that way we take you folks with us on these future journeys that that's coming up.
well, we'd be more than happy to be the platform to let the public know, and appreciate you guys again. Appreciate the time. Next week,
Thank you so much.
next week on May 8th, we have Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke will be joining us at 7 o'clock. So if you guys are interested in
Love her.
listening to, I love her too. She's so cool. She
Love
is
her.
like, and I don't know if you know her, you know that she is super 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 funny. She is an amazing
Funny, down to
sense.
earth.
It's
Yes,
like, yeah,
I'm a fan. I don't know her like super personally, but I'm a fan. I love hearing her speak, and she does. She has a great personality. Yeah.
excellent. And I think I think between Charlie and I next week, we are going to expose the real Sylvia Luke to the public, and people gonna love her even more. So I
I'll
can't
be
wait.
home.
Yeah, make sure
Yeah.
you guys tune in. So, folks, again, appreciate you guys. Ladies, go get some rest. Go have your
Yeah.
celery
Actually, we have
turmeric.
a class outside waiting to
Oh,
celebrate with Jaedyn.
oh,
So
nice,
no,
nice.
no problem at all. They're waiting. They're all. I think they might be watching. So yes, no
Okay,
problem.
well, for those of you that joined in late, we're gonna sign off, and I'm just gonna show you the little video of their arrival at the airport, if I can find it, and then love you too, Charlie.
Love you
But
come on,
guys.
everybody,
Mahalo. God
join
bless.
in on the challenge.
Thank
Put in
you.
that $200. Come on, challenge Uncle Charlie.
all right,
Mahalo.
Okay,
Kylie.
all right. Until
challenge
next time,
Thank
folks. You
you.
guys take care. God bless. We
Gracias.
love y'all. Check this out.
Aloha.
Here we go.